Welcome to our GoWall how-to videos for meeting owners. In this video, you will learn how to modify activities to include fields. In the previous video, you learned how to create activities. While collecting data for a given activity, you can collect additional information. The benefit of doing this is 1. You will accelerate your data gathering process, and 2. Your additional data will be captured in a structured way, resulting in higher quality data. This additional data is captured through the use of fields. There are several configurations you can make for fields. The field can be required or not required, or the field can be retained so that it keeps the data after each entry. When creating fields, you need to specify the type of entry you expect, text, numeric, or selecting from a list that you will create called a custom list. Let's look at some activities. Currently, all we have is an activity name. By looking under the Fields column, we see there are no fields defined for these activities. This is indicated with a 0. When the participant clicks on the activity, there are no fields defined. Nothing but the main comment will be captured. Let's say that for the Next Steps activity, you want to also capture the owner and due date. Let us show you two different ways of doing this. Click on the Fields icon, then select the Create Field button and add owner and due date. You can define up to 6 fields for any activity, and fields can be named anything that you like. When you create a field, you need to determine if you want to make that field required. Please note that the default condition is required, which means the participant will need to enter information into that field. Next, you need to determine if you want the information to be kept or erased for the next entry. The default condition is unchecked, meaning the participant will have to re-enter their data. And finally, you need to determine the type of entry you want. Your choices are text, a number, or a custom list that you will get to create. Previously, we defined owner as a field. The default type of entry is text, meaning that the participants can enter anything they like into this field. Instead, you could create a custom list for the owner field. You can define 2, 3, or dozens of entries in a custom list. A custom list allows you to provide a drop-down list that the participants can select from. We could also customize the due date field. We could change it so that only numeric entries can be made. Or we could create another custom list with just the dates we want people to select from. Now, instead of the participants entering anything they want in these fields, they must select from the lists you have defined. Please note, the maximum number of characters allowed in any field is 25. If you exceed 25 characters, typing is stopped. The second field type is numeric and is indicated with this icon. When you select this type, the participant must enter a number only. Alphanumeric entries are not allowed. If the participant tries to enter text in a numeric field, they will receive this error message. When you select Custom List, you'll see a warning that a list doesn't exist. Click on the Custom List icon, then click on the Create Item button. For this field, we only want to allow 3 entries, high, medium, and low. Click on Done when complete. Now, when the participant clicks on that field, instead of being able to enter anything they wish, there is a drop-down arrow and the custom list is displayed. You can move the position of the field just like you did with activities by clicking and dragging until they are in the order you want them displayed to your participants. For each field, there is a required checkbox with the default condition being selected. This means that the participant must enter something in that field or they will not be allowed to proceed. If it is unchecked, that field can be left blank. This forces compliance and allows you great control on what data is collected during your meeting. Also, for each field, there is a Retain checkbox, with the default condition being unchecked. This means that after a note has been added, this field entry will be cleared. This helps speed data capture so that participants can retain the entry for the next comment and it doesn't always have to be re-entered. Now the entered data will continue to be displayed until another activity is selected. For any activity, you can quickly determine how many fields are defined by looking in the Fields column. The green number represents the number of fields in each activity. To see all of the activity details, including fields, you can click on the Expand icon. Please note the asterisk beside each field name. This indicates that the field is required. If the participant tries to capture a comment without providing this data, they receive an error message. Now that you understand fields, we can introduce you to the Activity Content option. Under the Content column, there are three options: Required, Optional, and Off, with Required being the default condition. If you make content optional, this means that participants can choose to enter the main comment as well as the fields, or leave the main comment blank should they choose. If you turn content off, the participants will not be allowed to enter a comment and can only enter data into the fields. This is useful for collecting only field data, leaving the main comment blank. When added, it will indicate that it was intentionally left blank. That's all for this tutorial. We recommend that you watch the next video in this series. Thanks for watching.